Good evening, all. Thank you for staying a little bit late this evening and sticking around. We'll come out and talk about a few things. And also, I hope everybody has enjoyed their couple of weeks down in Texas for Christmas. Good to have everybody back here in D.C. I did want to come out tonight and talk about what's happening is up the street at the Capitol. As of just a few minutes ago, I believe we're at our 10th round of ballots, maybe 11th round of ballots for Speaker of the House. And with that, with those ballots continuing, the election continuing, the Congress cannot do its job. Our nation elected representatives to come to Washington to do the people's business. The people's business is being held up in Congress because of a vote for the Speaker of the House. Tonight, for the sake of our government and for the sake of what business needs to be conducted in our nation, and there's much to do. There's a busy agenda that needs to be accomplished. There's some things I'm going to outline in the coming days about things I want to accomplish this Congress. But in order to do that, we need to have a Speaker of the House. So tonight, I'm asking for Mr. McCarthy to reconsider his position on the ballot as Speaker. This is going on, 3 days since Congress came in. Nothing can be done. New members can't even be sworn in. And today, people that are on the Intelligence Committee can't even get briefings from the military to do their job because even if they were a member of the last Congress and won re-election, technically they're not members of the new Congress and thus aren't given access to the classified information that they need to do their job. So this needs to come to an end. We need a Speaker of the House, and this needs to be done and wrapped up as quickly as possible. Secondly, I want to talk about Mr. Biden's infrastructure remarks yesterday. And while I think infrastructure is important in our nation, and it is, we do have some other pressing items in our nation. I think the most important thing, one of the things that I want to tackle, or maybe not so much say tackle, but work with Congress on to do this Congress, is to improve education. I said this so much during the fall that education is just as important as national defense. Matter of fact, it is our national defense. We are educating the future of this country. Now, Mr. Biden wants to have more jobs available with less education. I'm for more jobs and more education. We must have engineers. We must have scientists. We must have doctors. And in order to do those things, you've got to have education. And so one of the things I want to pursue, if providing we can get Congress going, is to pursue an increase in education spending. You talk to educators any day of the week. I'm married to one, and you hear about teacher pay. And we got to work on that. There's a lot of talented individuals that are walking away from the education field simply because of the pay. And that's got to stop. That's one of the things I want to pursue in this next Congress, is to work out an increase in education spending. Third, it was also announced that Mr. Biden's going to be making a trip down to the border. While that's all good, and being a fellow Texan, I appreciate him coming to our state. He's not going to the location where the problem is the greatest. He's going to where Ms. Harris went. He's going to El Paso. You need to go to the heart of the problem, which is down in the valley. You need to take a congressional delegation down there with you, and you need to fix this border crisis. I've said time and time again, and I said it so many times last year, and I've said it again just recently, that on the first day of my administration, and I said it last January, that I would continue border wall construction and I would increase border security. I'm not going to close the borders. I'm not going to make it where you cannot come to the United States, but you're going to enter the nation the proper way. Now, our country was built on immigrants. I'm sure there's not a person in this room who doesn't have heritage from another country. I mean, down in my family's history, I understand it has some German heritage. That's what made America. But each and every one of our descendants came to this country the proper way. And so I'm asking that we reinstate that proper way. And by doing that, we will make our border in our nation much safer. You know, I wanted to come out and talk really a lot about the goals that I have for Congress coming up this year. And until we get this stalemate done up on the Hill, we can't get anything done. And so that's why I think it's in the best interest of the nation and of the Congress that Mr. McCarthy move aside and we get a person on the ballot that can get the necessary votes to become Speaker of the House. So that's where we're at. Now, again, I thank you very much for staying a little bit behind tonight, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.